Gentner Drummond, Attorney General for the state of Oklahoma. I envision a day, maybe in 21 months, when we have an executive leader of the state who cooperates and collaborates on a daily basis with our Native American partners. So we already have very good integration from state to county to city to community. And where we as a state are failing is we're not bringing in our tribal partners. Our tribal partners are doing great work in their silo, and the state's doing great work in its silo. But what if we combine the silos? I predict that we would do better work together. And that's the future that I see. I think that Oklahoma deserves better. I'm a 61-year-old who has devoted his life to service, 8 years as a fighter pilot, 30 years to my family, raising them up and getting them out of the home, and now these last 28 months as Attorney General. There's still more juice in that squeeze, and I think that I'm equipped to lead our state in a collaborative fashion. My wife and I, Wendy, have been involved in nonprofit organizations for the last 30 years in Oklahoma, and we have wonderful community partners. We need a leader that recognizes that. We need a leader that will reach out a hand of cooperation and fellowship with the tribes. The O-Gah-Pah Nation is a remarkable nation. The other 8 tribes in Ottawa County that partner with O-Gah-Pahs are the synergies of those 9 tribes. They care, and they are looking for a partner, and that partner is me. So for the last 26 months, I have met almost monthly with members of the O-Gah-Pah Nation, Modoc, Eastern Shawnee, everybody up in Ottawa County, literally. And we've been working toward an intergovernmental agreement through which the sovereignty of the individual tribe is recognized in partnership with the state of Oklahoma to enhance criminal justice. We take that template and we expand that to every area in which the tribe and the state can partner. And what we can have is, recognizing the sovereignty of the O-Gah-Pah, a partner ready at the hand to help the state advance the welfare of its people. Because every member of O-Gah-Pah tribe and the other tribes in Ottawa County are also Oklahomans. And I will be a governor for all 4 million Oklahomans. Three messages. 1, warrior up the vote. If the Native Americans of Oklahoma vote, that's 400,000 votes. That moves the needle. When only 800,000 Oklahomans will vote in a primary, if every Native American registered and voted, you would be half of the voting bloc. That's impactful, 1. 2, in my administration, we will have a Native American cabinet position populated by a Native American leader. 3, we will have an advisory council made up of the 38 tribes of Oklahoma, each with their own representation at this advisory council, so that the state of Oklahoma will no longer be myopic, but we will see clearly the needs of the Native American people. Well, 1, we're being left behind. So every day that we don't have a sports betting compact with our tribal partners is a day that the new customer establishes a relationship with a sports betting entity outside of the state. Now we're losing that new customer, or we're gonna have to spend money to get them back. So we need to have sports betting in the state of Oklahoma, recognizing the exclusivity of the tribes, the 38 tribes of Oklahoma, and partner with them. The tribes make money. 1, they already do it well. As you mentioned, O-Gah-Pahs are doing it already. Let the experts continue to drive that business in compact with the state. We are leaving hundreds of millions of dollars on the table as a state. It's a simple answer. 1, each tribal nation is a sovereign entity. Each nation governs itself differently. Each nation is as different from one another as the European nations are from one to the other. Nobody disputes that France is different than Germany. Nobody should dispute that the Seneca Cayuga is different than the Quapaw. You are different. Now, in your instance, you share many of the same facilities and you are cousins and treat each other like brothers and sisters. And so that's a beautiful template, but you are each unique and each have needs that should be addressed separately by the state. If the Quapaw came to me and said, we would like one compact that handles all areas, and we'd like that to be for a period of 10 years to be renewed automatically, I would be one to sit down and negotiate that with them directly, as I have already on criminal justice. The Cherokee may say, we want each of ours separate. That's perfectly acceptable because that's a sovereign nation. I can't expect Germany to do exactly as France does, nor should I expect the Quapaw to do the exact same as the Eastern Shawnee. So it's a matter of recognition of the sovereignty of the tribe and the needs of the tribe that are uniquely different than other tribes. Much overlap. But what drives the stakeholders of the Quapaw Nation, I cannot assume are the same as that drive the stakeholders of the Chickasaw Nation. So I would approach each tribe separately, independently, and respectfully. I mentioned it earlier, this intergovernmental agreement between the Quapaw Nation and the state of Oklahoma. We've worked diligently with your attorneys and your council members on this, such that this future agreement would have cross-deputization of our district judges, our sheriffs, our prosecutors, and our police force. So if we get every level of jurisprudence, criminal justice, from the judge, prosecutor, and law enforcement, cross-deputized with the Quapaw Nation's judges, prosecutors, and law enforcement, then we are no longer two silos, we're one silo, and we serve each other best. And then we expand that further to the prison system of Oklahoma. We presently have empty beds, and instead of a Quapaw individual being prosecuted for a felony and being shipped off to Dallas, he can be moved over to Hominy, which is only about a 45-minute drive away. So that keeps the family unit together because that felon is not shipped 400 miles away, but 45 miles away. And that will enhance the reunification of that felon when he served his time back with his family, and it permits the tribe to exercise sovereignty with the horsepower of the state. One, the state must recognize that we failed the Native American in the 1920s and 30s. We failed. We did not adequately protect nor prosecute the perpetrators of crimes against Native Americans. We need to acknowledge that. And that's the reason why the federal government is now more directly involved, because we failed. I'd like to reestablish that spirit of participation and cooperation with the tribal leaders so that we can elevate and protect all the same. Secondly, we don't fully recognize the economic value of the tribes. These are tribes that are sovereign, that will never leave the jurisdictional boundaries of Oklahoma. So it's not like a business that tomorrow might move to Houston. The Quapaw Nation will be with us into perpetuity. So let's make a partnership today that we can build on and acknowledge the differences of each tribe. Like so many of your members, the Quapaw Nation has been in the state of Oklahoma for 150 years. My family came here in the 1890s. We've been here 130 years. I'm the 7th generation in this state. I have my children and grandchildren in this state. I am committed to making change that will give them a compelling reason to remain in Oklahoma and help Oklahoma flourish. And so to the Quapaw member that values this relationship in Oklahoma, we're here because we love it. Now let's work together and we'll make it better.